Hi there and welcome. Today's practice is all about creativity. Creativity is our natural state as a relaxed human being. We are creative. So if you feel locked, feel like a little bit of a block for your creativity or a big block for your creativity, let's do this practice to help unblock some of that. How is this practice going to do that? Well, we're not going to be able to think our way through creative blocks. Oftentimes we hear stories of people who maybe, an answer came to them in a dream, or they walked away from the problem and then they discovered the answer. This is how we're going to view this practice. So through physical movement, unlocking maybe some of the tightness that comes with tension, the tension of like, let me think my way through, I have to find an answer. It creates sort of tension. We're going to unlock some of that tension through the heart, through the hips. We're also going to focus on our breathing. Increased oxygen intake is going to do a couple things. It's going to feed your brain. The more oxygenated, oxygen-rich blood going to your brain, the better everything's going to work. But also with deep, relaxed breathing, our self-criticism, psychologically, our self-criticism can often take a dive, can decrease, so that you can come to ideas without that little voice telling you, no, not good enough, wrong, all that kind of stuff. Some of the shapes too are going to demand either a little bit of balance, which is going to put a gentle challenge towards the prefrontal cortex, where a lot of our creative stuff comes from: language, words, how we put things together, ideas together. So challenging that part of your brain can help it to increase blood flow again and demand that it function so that that can be used for other things in your life. And anytime we're in a forward fold or the head is reaching towards the ground, which we're going to do in a couple different shapes, you can definitely think about that oxygenated blood from your deep breathing going towards your brain, feeding your brain to help unlock some of your natural creative powers that are already there. So let's get started. So as we begin, maybe some things to help you. Your yoga mat. If you don't have a yoga mat, it's okay to practice on a towel, anything really, any kind of surface. I have a block nearby. I may or may not use it. If you don't have a yoga block, something that is firm, that can bring the ground a little bit closer, may be a help in some shapes, or you could just do without it. It's totally fine. And I have a pillow just to kind of demonstrate, because the first shape that I'm gonna suggest that we start off in is just like this. Coming to your hands and knees, and then sitting back and down on your heels. I'll just show you from the side. So immediately you're gonna know some things that your body is telling you, and they may not be working for you. Certainly we can have tension a lot in our ankles. Our feet are not used to maybe being in this shape. They're more flat on the ground. We're bending them back. Knees, and they might be taking some strain. So this is where maybe if you have your props, it could be handy. You can even grab a pillow from your bed or some blankets, and some options that you can do is you can sit on something, and that can help relieve a little bit of the knees, a little bit of the pressure there. If you have a block or something lifted up, that can lift you up, you can sit on top of it, and that can help relieve some of the pressure. And always, 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 everything is an option. So if this shape is not going to work for your body, do something different. You can definitely just come to a traditional seated shape. You could start in your child's pose, which is similar to legs, but the hands reaching out, body sort of folding over. Or you could start laying on your back. The first thing that we're going to do in our practice today is just to find a little bit of stillness and start to connect with our breath. So just arriving as you are. I have my hands rested on my lap. If you like that feeling, go for it. You could also put your palms down if you like that, or palms up. It's maybe kind of saying, I'm ready to receive something. Whatever feels right. And I'm I'm going to close my eyes. You do what feels right for you. Just begin to feel the rise and fall of that breath. Even with the perhaps challenging feeling in the legs, in the ankles, in the feet, see if you can relax the shoulders, let the spine lengthen. And let your jaw soften. And in this shape, becoming aware of all kinds of difficult sensations and finding relaxation, connection at the same time. Maybe just reflect on the idea that this is a useful practice for creativity. There's obviously pressures and deadlines and practical things. And yet your best, most creative self is going to find a sense of flow and connection, relaxation, even when there's pressure. So let's help the body out by just slowing the breath down a little tiny bit. Imagine the next inhale deeper into the belly, filling through the ribs, the chest. Once you get to the top, slowly exhale from the top to the bottom. Challenge yourself throughout this practice to keep the lips sealed and breathe in and out through the nose. Go for it again, those three parts: belly, ribs, top of the chest, into the throat, and then slowly pour that air out like a glass of water from the top to the bottom, empty. And then begin again, filling. Throughout our practice, we're going to aim to keep this slow breath pattern. Three parts: belly, ribs, top of the chest fills, three parts to empty. And if you find that it speeds up, you lose it, you start breathing through your mouth, just take that as a sign it's time to take a break. And then once you're back with your breath, you can begin again. By linking breath with movement, we get this experience of flow. So we're doing really without thinking, which oftentimes is the essence of creativity. So let's begin right here and now with your next inhale. Use the inhale to lift the arms up to the sky, take them up high. And as you exhale, just let those hands drift forward. They could come to the mat or you could reach them out. Maybe the head drops. And it's okay to take more than one breath. If your breath is a bit faster, breathe for a few. Feel the back begin to open. And with your next inhale, let's take that right hand around the back behind you. And then begin to lift up onto the knees. So you're standing on your knees. And that left arm, reach up into the sky. Now I'll show you from the side. Your option could be hand just wrapped, hand might drop back, reach, hand might reach towards the heel. And it can be quite challenging, so give yourself some time. And as you exhale, we sink down into that child's pose again. Maybe take a couple breaths here. Use an inhale to wrap the left arm and reach up with the right, standing onto the knees, pushing the hips forward, the heart open to the sky. And as you exhale, down we go. Feel free to take as many breaths as you need in your child's pose, but use the inhale to rise. So even if you take 3 or 4 breaths down there, the inhale takes you up and the exhale releases you down. Take it on the left side and just begin to flow through a couple times with this, just in your own pace. Every time there's maybe a little bit more space to lift and reach, a little bit more space through those ribs. As you turn off thinking and turn on your feeling, where your creative powers live. And just feel the motion. Maybe take one more time each side. Settle back down into that child's pose. And then begin to walk the hands back towards those knees. Find that seated hero shape again. And just feel 3 breaths, nice and slow. Beautiful. Let's begin to make that transition towards our downward facing dog. So the hands reach to the mat, spread those fingers wide. The knees are going to come under the hips. If you need a little spine movement here, feel free to take some side to side bends. Feel free to find a cat-cow. We can inhale, lift up through the heart, drop the belly, exhale, round and tuck. Spine reaching up. Belly pulls in. Take whatever you need. The toes begin to spread. The fingers nice and connected. Take an inhale to pull the belly in. And as you exhale, pushing into the hands so the hips come up to the sky. And move the feet to where we get a nice upside down V shape. So the tailbone reaching up, the hips reaching up, and the head pointing down, even the head coming between those arms. So remember that idea of the blood flow going to the head. Take a good breath here. Nice exhale. Beautiful. With the next inhale, take that right foot and reach it up to the sky. Take it up high. And as you exhale, we're going to guide it through. The knee comes close to the body and we step that foot through to the top of the mat. Take the back knee down. And using our inhale, we rise up. Maybe the arms can reach up to the sky. Maybe the hands can touch. If that doesn't feel good for you, feel free just to push the hips forward and get that sensation of opening through the front of the body. Wonderful. Now as you exhale, just begin to shift. You're going to turn towards the side of your mat. The left hand is going to reach behind you. The right leg is going to reach out in front, and we're going to use an inhale to reach up to the sky, your gate pose. Nice. Now again, as you exhale, start to make that slow transition here. And we're just going to find a little twist. So same thing, lunge, but the left arm reaches up and the right hand behind you. And you could even see if you can reach back to that heel, that might be there too. You decide what works for you. And once again, using that whole exhale to find the transition. The back toe is gonna tuck, the back heel is gonna push into the earth so the leg lengthens out, keeping that lunge. And now we inhale, the arms reach up to the sky into our warrior one. Feel free to keep them separate. You can even have a slight bend if the shoulders hurt. And as you exhale, the hands touch down and the feet step back into our downward facing dog. Now, if you're a chaturanga lover, that's where you can definitely add in your chaturanga. Don't let me stop you. But if you want to step just straight back to down dog, that's fine too. And let's try our left leg. Next inhale, lifting the left leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, pull the knee close to the body, step it through, that back knee comes down. It's okay if it lands here and you have to kind of help it a little bit. Use the inhale to reach the arms up to our low lunge. Now take your time as you exhale. The whole exhale is to turn towards the side of the mat, reach the right hand back, stretch that left leg out long. And then once you're there, inhale, reach the left arm up, maybe stretch to the side of the body. You can reach towards the sky, you can reach overhead. And once again, the whole exhale is to make that transition. So we go nice and slow into our twist now. Inhaling, right arm up to the sky, left hand either around your back or maybe down to that heel behind you. Once again, the whole exhale to transition. The back toes tuck in, the back heel pivots down. Feel free to use your hands. Keeping that lunge, we inhale into our warrior one. And then exhale, hands touch down. Feet step back. Maybe you take a chaturanga. What does that look like if you want to try? Little push-up. And if you do that, come to the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift the heart. And then exhale, lift the hips. But that's an option. Just brings a little more heat to the body. And we're going to flow with that. So I'm going to guide you through, and then eventually I'm going to start to just get a little bit more quiet so that you can be in yourself. Don't worry about getting it right or wrong. Just worry about unlocking a little bit of tension, finding that breath, increasing blood flow. That's it. Here we go. Inhale, the right leg reaches up. Exhale, guide the knee through, step the foot through. The back knee comes down. Inhale, reach up to the sky, low lunge. Exhale, turn, shift that weight. The left hand reaches behind, the right leg is long. Inhale, reaching up to the sky. Maybe the arm even comes over the head. You can explore. Use the whole exhale to walk it back to the top of the mat and find your twist. Inhale, left arm reach, right arm reaching behind. You might find more space as you go. Use the whole exhale to transition. You can play with your balance by bringing hands to your heart, tuck the toes, back heel comes down. Deep lunge, inhale, reach, our warrior one. Exhale, hands to mat, stepping back. Down dog, chaturanga, however you want to reset. Maybe take a couple breaths. And left leg, inhales high. Exhale, stepping through, back knee down. Inhale, our low lunge. Take your time with your breath. Don't rush. Use the whole exhale to slowly find your way to the side of the mat. Inhale, reach. Exhale, walk it back into that lunge. Inhale, our twist. Or maybe half camel. Exhale, get grounded. Find that balance perhaps. Tuck the toes. Heel pivots. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, feet step back, reset how you will. If you know where you're going, start to take your own pace. If you need me, here we go. Inhale. Exhale, step. Inhale, low lunge, reach. Exhale, transition, side of the mat, turn that knee, straighten that leg. Inhale, gate. Exhaling to turn, find a twist. Exhale, start to find the feet. Find that position. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, set it down. Reset. Slow that breath if it's speeded up. Let's go through the left leg. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale that low lunge. Exhale, turning, transitioning. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, back towards the top of the mat. Inhale, twist. Exhale, find those feet. Find that connection. Inhale, reach. Exhale, set it down. Reset. I'm going to challenge you to take it through one time on your own. Let's see if it's there. Obviously, if you need me, you can take a peek. Maybe you just trust yourself that inhales lift you up and exhales transition or take you down towards the earth. And maybe releasing yourself from that tension of thinking, what's the right thing? Because that will be a block to our creativity. As you finish up, maybe take a few breaths in that down dog. If that feels too energetic, you need a rest, you can drop down to your child's pose. Whichever way you decide, come back to that slow 3-part breath. Belly, ribs, top of the chest, and then emptying from the top to the bottom. So if you came to rest in your child's pose, slowly return to your down dog. If you're in your down dog, maybe explore lengthening out through that spine, imagine the head pointing towards the ground, turning things upside down. You know we need to be when we're creative. And with our next inhale, let's rise up onto our tippy toes. Look towards your thumbs, your hands. And as you exhale, start to let those feet travel towards the front of the mat. Now you could take many steps. You could take one big hop, one big step. Once you get there, have an inhale to lengthen out through the spine. The eyes come forward. The hands can even come to the shins if you need to. And as you exhale, take a nice fold here. Once again, head down below the heart, letting that blood flow. Now as you connect with the earth, inhale, reach up to the sky. And we're going to connect the right hand to the left wrist. Exhale to step the left foot back behind us. And then as we inhale, take a little lean over to the right. Pulling the side of the body. As we inhale, we step to center and reach. And exhale, return to that fold. Now with our next inhale, start to place the left hand down. You could even use your block here, or whatever it is that you have to connect you with the earth. Start to reach this left leg back. See if the right leg and the left hand can support you. And we take the right arm up into the sky. Now some of you, this might be where we want to be with our foot grounded. Some of us, lifting that leg. So either our revolved triangle, you can be really connected. You can even be light through those toes and explore the twist. We'll see if we can elevate into our half moon. Wonderful. As you exhale, take that foot down, pivot it down. Once again, we have this lunge. And as we inhale, reaching the right arm up to the sky and the left arm around the back. So you can explore with the eyes, look down behind you, look up. Your choice, you can decide. And as we exhale, we lengthen through this leg again, the right hand reaching down. You might take it to the shin, the ankle. You could reach the floor if you want to reach towards the floor, but it's not quite there. That's where our block can be handy. And then we inhale, reach up. Take an extra exhale here. And now balance through these feet as we inhale, reaching up, grabbing the right wrist and pulling ourselves over into our sky archer. Lengthen. With our exhale, the hands come down to the earth. Find your down dog and breathe. We're going to find the left leg. So next inhale, rise to tippy toes, look towards those fingers. And as you exhale, begin to make your way to the top of the mat, however that makes sense to you. Use an inhale to lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, take a fold. Totally okay here if the knees bend. If you have to do that for your low back, go for it. Or they can straighten out. You'll find your way. With your next inhale, press into the feet. We reach all the way up. This time, grab the right wrist. The right foot is gonna step back. Find a little bit of balance there. And then take an exhale and lean. Open through the ribs. When you're ready, inhale back to center, reach up to the sky, maybe even a back bend. And as you exhale, fold it on down. Now the opposite side, so the left foot is gonna stay forward, gonna stay grounded. The right hand is gonna come down, maybe to the earth, maybe to the block. We take this right foot back and we inhale. See what your option is here. Maybe a bit of balance. And it could be sometimes touch and go. Maybe you really push with that back heel. Wonderful. Use your exhale to place that leg down, ground it down, find that lunge. And then we inhale, left arm up to the sky and right hand around. Play with the eye line here, pointing down. What do you feel? Exhaling, arms open wide, legs lengthen, and we find our triangle. Look on up at that hand. And then as we inhale, grabbing this left wrist and pulling it up and over our sky archer. Wonderful. As we exhale, back down to the mat we go. Feel free to reset with your chaturanga if you wish. We're going to add a little touch on. Yeah, we're going to challenge a little bit. So next inhale, tippy toes, look towards those thumbs, those fingers. As you exhale, make your way to the top, however makes sense to you. And inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold. Inhale, press into the feet. We reach. Grab that left wrist, left foot steps back. Exhale, take your lean. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Now the right foot is the one that stays in front. And as we inhale, that left leg travels back, maybe floats. Right arm maybe twists up. As we exhale, ground that leg down, find that lunge. Inhale, right arm serves it up to the sky. And as we exhale, lengthen and open into our triangle. Inhale, grabbing that right wrist, pull it up and over our sky archer, and we're just gonna use that direction to turn the other way. The leg staying as straight as you possibly can. As you exhale, take a fold. Now, if the legs won't straighten, you find there's a bend, just step the feet closer together to your pyramid. Another shape where the head is below the heart. Feel it out and breathe. Wonderful. With your next inhale, that back knee is going to find the ground. Nice. And we're going to inhale. Take the left arm up as the right hand reaches behind. Now we did this one earlier like a twist. But now you might find, oh yeah, there's space. I can find my heel. There it is. Into our half camel. Nice. Now time to exercise our brain power. I'm going to challenge you to take your hands maybe to your heart. If it doesn't work, take your hands to the mat, totally fine. And as you exhale, we're going to find a little curtsy, taking the right knee behind that left knee. You can get as low as you want, and again, hands on the mat is fine. As we inhale, we're going to press into the left leg, and the right foot is going to come to the inside of that left thigh as we lengthen up. Now, totally okay if the foot is more like this, like a kickstand on the ground. And then maybe there's a little bit it can creep up over time. Don't worry. It's supposed to be challenging, right? By working on your balance, you're actually going to increase your creative powers. So take an inhale, and as you exhale, let it go and take a fold. Now you have an option. Both feet can come to the ground and we take a fold just like you did before. Or you can take a fold when you lift the right leg up into the sky like a standing split. So two choices for folding, here or here. With your inhale, the feet step together and we find our chair. Take an inhale. And then we just gonna take it from here. So from your chair, exhale, fold. Nice. Now the left foot is going to stay grounded. We're going to find that either revolved triangle, revolved half moon, right hand down, inhaling, lifting the right leg, maybe the left arm, we twist. Nice. As you exhale, find your way to get grounded. And as we inhale, taking left arm up to the sky, serve it up. Triangle next. As we exhale, lengthen and open. Inhaling our sky archer, grabbing that wrist, pulling it up and over. And here's where we added. So as we exhale, we just turn and take our fold. Adjust those feet wherever you need to make it work for you. And then we're taking it to the ground as we inhale. This time, left hand reaches back, right arm reaches up. And from the ground to the sky. So as we exhale, find your curtsy. You can challenge yourself. What's the big deal if we really fall? Nothing, really. And sometimes your curtsy can be like, oh, it's a little touching down. See what's there, she says as she falls. And then we inhale into our tree. We rise up. As you exhale, take your fold. Could be both feet planted. Could be more like a standing split. And as we inhale, we find our chair pose. And this is where we start again. We start and end here. Exhale, take your fold. Right foot is staying grounded, left hand onto the earth. Inhale, right arm reaches up, we find this twist. Exhale, ground that foot, lunge. Inhale, right arm serves it up to the sky, exalted warrior. Exhale, lengthen and open our triangle. Grab that wrist, inhale, pulling up and over, sky archer, follow it around. Exhale, take your fold. Inhale, that back knee reaches down, the left arm reaches up. And here comes our balance. So where the hands want to go, you decide as you exhale, curtsy. This is to find the ground. Find your firm footing, and as you inhale, rise and grow. As you exhale, take it down and fold your way. Feet come together. Inhaling to our chair. And then we flow through from your chair. Exhale, we fold. Now the left leg is going to stay grounded. Inhale, revolved half moon. Exhale, foot plants, find that deep lunge. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, lengthen the legs, open the arms, our triangle. Inhale, sky archer, pulling that wrist up and over. Start to turn. Exhale, fold. Back knee comes down. Inhale, right arm to the sky. And here comes our balance. Exhale, get yourself grounded. Find that curtsy. Inhale, rise, grow. When you're ready, exhale, take a fold. However makes sense to you. Feet meet, and we inhale into our chair. Beautiful. See if you can start to take it through at your own pace. Don't worry about it. Exhales are taking you down, and inhales will rising or floating in some way. So ground you down. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, sky archer. Start to make that transition. Exhale to fold. Finding the earth with that knee. Inhale, or half camel. Exhale, curtsy. Inhale, we rise, find your tree. Exhale, we fold. One foot or both feet grounded. Feet meet. Inhale, chair. Exhale, we fold. The left foot stays grounded. See if you can find your flow as you inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Start to make your turn. It can be at your own pace though. Just stay with that breath. Nice and slow. Maybe one more time through, just with your breath. It doesn't matter if something goes wrong, if something is left out. The most important thing is just the breath, which will bring you to that connection. And it's that connection that is going to bring you towards your natural creativity. Finish up it in that last chair. Last fold. And from there, inhale, halfway lift and lengthen. Exhale, place the hands, step the feet back. If you want that chaturanga again, go ahead and take it. Or else you might just come to your down dog. And we'll meet in our down dog and hang out here for a little bit. Just aim to find that breath again, that slow breath. And then we're just gonna explore holding some shapes for a little bit longer. So let's go for it with our next inhale. Take the right leg up to the sky. And as you exhale, once again, take the foot through to the top of the mat. We're gonna see if we can dig those back toes in. Some of you might need to even lengthen out, take that leg a little bit further away. The left hand will stay down, and we'll inhale the right arm up to the sky and hang out here for a couple breaths. Slow the breath, twisting open. Reaching. Take an inhale. As you exhale, place that right hand in front of the right foot. And we're going to start to make that transition to the back toes being lighter and lighter. Again, use that block if you wish to help you. And once those toes get light, we're going to see if we can stack those hips up, push the back heel away from you. Maybe take that left arm up into the sky. And we're opening into our half moon, so some balance here. Let's go for 5 slow breaths. It's okay if it's up and down. If you fall out, just come back. Remember that curtsy? That's where we're going. So as you exhale, start to curtsy. But this time you're going to guide your body all the way down. So we have little cross legs here. And maybe this feels good like this. Maybe you want to take this foot over even more so the legs are kind of like a shoelace. And have an option of just staying right here. Have an option of finding a twist. Or if you feel like the hips and the back need it more, have an option of folding. So 3, 4 options there. Find what works for you. What your body prefers right now. Slow the breath. With your next inhale, if you're folded, rise. If you're twisted, untwist. And as you exhale, start to untwist those legs. Stay on that tailbone, but we inhale, lift the feet. Let's find our boat pose. So the toes might come as high as your eyes, the arms can reach out. If it's not working for you, hands can reach around the thighs. They can even come to the ground to support you. And let's see if we can open the heart and breathe. I'm going to show you from the side. If I have enough space here. Take an inhale. As you exhale, place the hands. We're going to roll onto our back and take those feet either to the sky. So again, the idea of blood coming down into the body, all that oxygenated blood that you created through those legs. If you have a shoulder stand in your practice and you want to get that going, then you could roll onto your back. Feet come up and roll on to the meaty part of your shoulders. Use your hands to support and try to point those toes up to the sky. If you come here, don't be looking at the screen and back. Just keep your eyes, keep your neck very steady. If it feels too much, take it away. Take it back down. But if you've come to your shoulder stand and you want a deeper fold, you can start to take those feet up and over. And maybe you find the ground behind you, maybe not, maybe it's a little bit lifted. But one more deep forward fold. And it's okay too, if the back is down and the feet are high and you want to fold, just pull the legs closer to your body. If you're in that plow, you're in your shoulder stand, slowly lower yourself down. And I'll show you from the side here as well. We're going to cross those legs, tuck them in, take an inhale to roll, exhale, roll it forward. Plant those hands. I don't have enough room with my wall. Step it back, and if you want your chaturanga, take your chaturanga here. And then come to our down dog. But from our down dog, some slow breaths. And then we do on the other side. So as we inhale, the left leg up to the sky. And as we exhale, guide the knee through to the top of the mat. Those back toes might wiggle out. The right hand to support you. We inhale, left arm reach up. And we stay in hold. Explore that skill of relaxation in tension. Slow the breath. As we inhale, reach, and as you exhale, start to place the left hand in front of that left foot. Already the right toes might start to become a little bit light. Maybe they can start to float. Maybe the right arm can also take off into the sky. You might really push through that back heel. Explore the balance here, explore opening up through the hips. Like you're twisting your heart to the side. If you fall, don't worry. And then we remember our curtsy, right? So as we exhale, we start to curtsy. But this time, guide your body all the way down. Once again, options. For some of us, the knee is happier like this. Stay like this. For some of us, we might be able to tie up those shoelaces a little bit tighter. And then choice, stay where you are, take a twist towards the left, or take a little fold. The differences are in the fold, your body may be different, but I feel it more in my hips, into my glutes, into the low back somewhat, where in the twist, I'm going to feel all the way through my back, into the shoulders, into the neck. There's a correct or incorrect. Just maybe try each and just notice what your body needs more, what it likes more today. As we inhale, we start to rise, and exhale, untwist, unwind those legs. Inhale, we find our way into our boat, and we hold here. Once again, openness, breathing, relaxation, even in difficulty and tension. It's a difficult shape. Take an inhale. As you exhale, the hands come down. Now your options, once again, we see a bit better from here, is feet come up to the sky. You can also find that shoulder stand. Just rolling up into those shoulders, kind of wiggle those elbows underneath, and use your tummy muscles to point your toes up to the sky. And maybe just visualize all of that oxygenated blood from the work that you've done coming down towards your head, towards your heart. If you wish to take one more fold, feel free. You can do this with your back on the ground. You can reach the toes overhead. And then carefully getting out of it, you're going to bend the knees, cross the ankles, take a roll, use your hands to help those legs back. Feel free to reset with that chaturanga if you like that. Inhale, and one last down dog. One last time. Feel the changes. What you've created, if you will, in your body. With your next inhale, we're going to take the knees down and find a way to come to sit. I'm going to turn towards the long side of my mat. You may, if you wish. We're going to really take a concerted effort to open up. So the legs are going to come out as wide as we possibly can. If you find you're kind of leaned back and it's tough, this is where a pillow or a rolled up towel underneath your hips can help. When they're lifted, you find that your back is sometimes not so curved. Because we're going to try to imagine the hips sort of rolling forward from here. I think we'll get to a point where our back is probably a little bit curved, but we want the opening through the hips. So take a little moment here with the hands resting in front or behind the body just to lengthen. Just slow that breath. And then when you're ready, use an inhale to really lengthen up. And as you exhale, just crawl the hands forward. Again, pillow or something could be useful to help you here. Or you might use it for your head. Or you could even have a stack of things. So if it's hard to get down low, stack those things up so that you can feel an intense stretch. Go to where you feel some intensity, but then do what you need to then let the face, the head, the shoulders, the neck just start to relax. Let's stretch through the back of the thighs, through the low back, through the inner thighs. Intense, uncomfortable is where you want to be. Stabbing, burning pain, no, not so much. But go to a place where you feel discomfort, and we're going to stay here for a little while. Just breathing and opening. Slow your breath. You know, when problems are big, challenges are big, and we feel stuck creatively, blocks in our thinking, we're looking for big solution. And when someone says, just breathe, it almost can sound annoying, like, don't tell me just to breathe. This is a big problem. And I want you to notice here that, the breath doesn't solve the problem, but the breath brings something in. It reconnects with something that we need to navigate the problem. It's certainly not a coincidence that the words respiration, inspiration, they have the same root. Like spiration. It's related to that root spiritus, our spirit. And how the ancients would think of creativity. It's like a connection with the divine, connection with God, that allows you to access a part of us that in our day-to-day struggles we're shut off from. Through tension, worry. We can release from those physical demands with just one breath at a time. Just reconnect with the idea that no, there's something more creative in you, something more about life than just mere survival. Just let yourself melt here for a few more breaths. If the sensation has eased, go a little bit deeper into the shape. So we've been sitting here for a while. We want to be super duper slow. So crawl the hands closer to the body extremely slowly, even pausing now and again, not rushing. Even once you straighten up your spine, come to sit, take a little moment there before you move the legs. And then maybe the knees want to bend. However makes sense for you to bring those legs together. I'm going to slowly make a gentle transition to our back. And maybe those knees can just hug in and give a little rock and roll. This might feel good for you. You might want to stay here, or you might want to turn it into a twist, taking the knees over to one side. See if the shoulders can stay on the ground. The chin turns away from the knees. This is a great way to just ease out that low back before we come to our final shape. Slowly coming to center. Obviously stay longer whenever you need in a shape. And when you're ready, you can find the other side. Really slowly, those knees come to center. One last hug or squeeze or whatever you need before those feet extend out. Maybe the palms turn up. And just take a few moments here. Let a really deep inhale fill your body. Maybe even open your mouth to let it go. Just like that respiration, that breath is free. So is your creativity. It is your natural, inborn ability. With your next inhale, begin to find some movements, maybe a big stretch. Those movements can become bigger. You might feel good to hug the knees into the chest. You might want to roll onto the side of your body or just rock and roll on that low back. Maybe one last time those feet extend up. Do what feels right. Your own inspiration be your guide. We're going to slowly find a way to guide ourselves up to seated. And let your hands rest where it feels right for you, on your knees, your lap, your palms in front of your heart. May you breathe freely. May inspiration be just one breath away. The light in me honors and bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you everyone for practicing with me today. I really hope that you found a little something that can carry you through, maybe something unlocked, unblocked, get back to yourself. If you haven't done so already, I would love it if you stay connected with me, like, subscribe, comment on the video, and until next time, be well.